All right, so at this point, you know that you need to do your before getting started, which is making sure your computer is set up, required materials, you found the textbook, you found the pivot sites, you know where the labs are, you've purchased Achieve, you know you need a webcam, and you know you need to be able to scan your documents, you've got a copy of your syllabus. Your exams are going to be taken through lockdown browser and monitor. And now the question is, how are you going to actually learn the material? So everything is organized in terms of modules, and I've organized it in terms of the exam that you're studying for. So if we start for content for exam one. So content for exam one is the first module, and you're going to start with making sure you have read the academic integrity discussion here. You have submitted a PDF quiz and taken a practice quiz, just making sure you're comfortable using Canvas as well as Lockdown Browser. And again, this is a required identity and assignment, so do that as well. And then we're going to start with the materials. The materials are chapter one course material starts here. Now I've got Zoom lectures for everything, and I will be doing lectures as this class goes along, even though it's an online course. I try to keep closely in contact with everybody. So here, chapter one course material. This is how I've got it set up. So when you hit the chapter one course materials, it is going to start out with a study guide here. There are some PowerPoints, and there's a couple of versions of those. Once you get into the actual chapter material here, so if I click on chapter one, section one, it is going to give you an idea of what it is you need to know. So those are your objectives. It is going to take you to the link in that textbook. So if you don't even have your textbook linked, it's linked right here. And then there's going to be videos, and they might be my video. So here's my video on the scientific method in this particular section. And then here are some other good YouTube videos that I have linked on how to do this. Dr. Kanzel at Annandale has also gotten some videos, and they are in there as well. So every single section that you are expected to know will have a linked portion of the text, learning objectives, and videos embedded. Now, once you've gone through and you have looked at those and how you go through and learn it, that's going to be up to you, because you may want to start with the study guide. The study guide here is again, it's trying to make sure that you know what your objectives are, where you need to go from there. So when I write a study guide, I remind you this is how you're going to walk through the chapter. Do your definitions, write down the steps to the scientific method. For example, this is a place for you to take notes and think about what you need to do scientific significant figures, what are the rules, what you need to memorize, and there's some problems in here, going through and doing some calculations as you go through the chapter. So that is the study guide. At the end, there's extra course material. Now the extra course material, don't lose this, because you're going to find this pretty handy. It is a key to the study guide. It is a key to the extra credit. And then it's also some notes that I would use were I to be studying the material. So that's the material. Now, none of that's graded. What is going to be graded is a different set. So if we go back to our chapter one module, or exam one, content for exam one, now we have the stuff that's actually graded. The assignments are what are going to be graded. And if you go in here, it is going to give you your Achieve assignments. It is going to give you homework, which is adaptive homework. It's an AI set of homework, and it will not be the same for every person. If you get the answers correct, you can go through it fairly quickly. With a note, it's at a very low level, so it is not a complete look at what you need to know. It's a good starting point. Probably much more important are going to be the quizzes. The quizzes are going to be more difficult, and there is no points off for wrong answers on a homework. You will lose points for every wrong answer on your quiz. And then there's an extra credit worksheet. When you're done with the extra credit worksheet here, so if you click on that, this is the worksheet. You will be submitting it online. It is worth 0 points because it's not going to subtract from your grade if you don't do it. It will add to your grade if you do complete it. So that is the extra credit. So once you have gone through and you have looked at all of your assignments for chapter one, you're going to go on to chapter two. If you want more lectures, I have Zoom lectures that I did. These happen to be in the spring for a different class. And I've kind of gone into the major topics. They're a bit longer than the ones that are currently embedded in the Canvas site, but nonetheless, the entire thing is in there. So that is going to another set of lectures if you need them. The other thing is that if you go to the calendar here, by the way, I love the Canvas calendar. It's my favorite thing about Canvas. I will be doing optional lectures on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Well, I will be doing the same kind of thing as you saw on those Zoom lectures, where I'll just be going through the material as well as answering questions. I also have help sessions on Sundays and Thursday evenings at 7:30. Please come with any questions from, again, adaptive homework, quizzes, extra credit, anything you're reading, whatever you need help with. All right, so that is the calendar. Make sure you keep track of the calendar. It is so handy. So going back to chapter 1, second. Once you've finished chapter 1, go on and do chapter 2. Again, the same thing. Figure out how you're going to learn it. A lot of people seem to be most comfortable going through the videos, doing the study guide, going through the Achieve. Make sure you do your extra credit. Probably the best way to know what you are sure you know what you're doing is by doing the extra credit. And then you'll get into studying for exam 1. In studying for exam 1, there is what to know, which includes some vocab. There's a sample exam and a key. And by the way, this is the equation sheet that will be embedded for every exams. Please note the exams are timed. Once you start, you cannot go back and redo it, and you need to complete it by the due date on the syllabus. All right, once you've done finishing what you need to learn for exam 1, you're going to say, it says here, you need to go into proctored assessments to take the exam. All right, so proctored assessments is its own module. And so when you scroll down and you go and you find yourself proctored assessments here, this is this module, and you're going to need to go in and you're going to need to take exam 1. Once you start taking exam 1, it's going to say, hey, this is going to be in respondents. This is your time. This is the number of points. There's 2 parts. Part 1 is the exam. Part 2 is the scratched PDF of the scratch paper, again, submitted as one document. I will not accept it if it's more than one document. This is timed. I can preview it because obviously I'm the teacher, but you can take, and once you do this, you're just going to click on take the exam, and you will be live on camera and take the exam from there. All right. Once you've done that, it will be submitted. I will try to get them graded within a day or so. I try not to get them graded until most students have already turned them in, and you get them kind of graded at the same time. Once you've done all 4 exams and you've finished all of the course material, there is an optional final. The optional final will replace your lowest exam grade. So if you miss an exam, it's going to be replaced by the optional final. If you blow an exam, it will be replaced by the optional final. If you like your course grade at the end of exam 4, the final is optional.